Bruno Richard Hauptmann was a name that would haunt America for decades, the accused in what became the nation's most sensational crime of the 1930s. On a cold March night in 1932 in Hopewell, New Jersey, the 20-month-old son of Charles and Anne Morrow Lindbergh vanished from the nursery of their Riverside home. The aviator's infant, Charles Augustus Lindbergh Jr., disappeared under a window, and a crude ransack of ransom notes began a 4-month spiral of publicity, grief, and furious investigation. The Lindberghs were celebrity royalty. The world watched. The first note demanded $50,000 in gold certificates. Over the weeks, negotiations were conducted through an unlikely intermediary, Bronx schoolteacher John F. Condon, who paid the ransom at a wooded spot. On April 2, 1932, Condon delivered the money and claimed the kidnapper accepted it, but the baby did not return. On May 12th, a local worker found a small body in a shallow grave on a gravel road in the New Jersey countryside. The medical examiner concluded the infant had died of a fractured skull and was likely killed the night of the abduction. The crime had turned from a ransom drama into a murder investigation that galvanized police across jurisdictions and galvanized Congress. Public outrage helped push through the federal Lindbergh Law, expanding federal reach over kidnappings. Investigators followed the paper trail. Some of the gold certificates used in the ransom began to surface in New York and the Bronx. In September 1934, police arrested Bruno Richard Hauptmann, a German immigrant living in the Bronx, after marked bills were found linked to him. Search of his home turned up $14,000 in gold certificates hidden in a gas meter box. The prosecution tied him further to the crime through a battered ladder left at the Lindbergh home. Wood experts testified that a plank matched floorboards in Hauptmann's attic, and handwriting analysts said his penmanship matched the ransom notes. The trial, held in Flemington in 1935, was a circus of testimony and spectacle. The Lindberghs attended. Prosecutors painted a portrait of Hauptmann as the lone conspirator who had plotted the seizure, built the ladder, collected the money, and murdered the child. The defense argued he had been set up. An old acquaintance, Isidore Fish, who had once entrusted money to Hauptmann before returning to Germany, had died, they said, and Hauptmann had been unable to account for the bills. They attacked the reliability of handwriting experts and the ladder analysis, and alleged police pressure and procedural shortcuts. Yet the jury convicted. Hauptmann was sentenced to death and executed in the electric chair at Trenton State Prison on April 3, 1936. What followed was decades of controversy. Supporters of Hauptmann argued the evidence had been circumstantial and tainted. Alleged hearsay about Fish, disputed wood matches, and handwriting testimony that modern experts have later questioned. Critics pointed to anti-immigrant sentiment, sensationalist policing, and the intense public demand for closure as possible pressures that shaped the case. Others suggested deeper conspiracies, claims of more than one kidnapper, or an inside job by someone close to the family, but none of those theories produced definitive proof. Historically, the Lindbergh case changed American law enforcement and public life. It pushed the federal government into local crimes and exemplified the power of media and celebrity in shaping justice. Yet even after Hauptmann's execution, doubts persisted. In the margins of history, there remains a tangle of fact and conjecture. Reliable forensic links to Hauptmann, unanswered questions about the ladder and the chain of custody for evidence, conflicting witness accounts, and the shadow of a nation that demanded a culprit. The Lindbergh kidnapping is not just a solved case file. It is a cautionary tale about how grief, fame, and fear can compress a criminal investigation into a single, irrevocable verdict. Whether Bruno Hauptmann was a guilty actor or a tragic scapegoat, his name remains inseparable from a child whose life and whose death transformed American law and collective memory.
If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more amazing videos.